What's going on, guys? So today in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to take on Melania. In my opinion, she is the hardest boss in this game. At this point, I have never played a From Software game before, so any of the Dark Souls games, any of those. I've only played Elden Ring, and it's my very first run through. But in this, I'm going to be showing you my build, the tips and tricks to fight against her, the strats I use, some of her attacks. I'm going to be going through a couple of the phases and a couple of her attacks, and we'll see how it goes. Slight editor note, I'm also streaming this at the same time as the video recording, and one of my viewers made a redeem, which is eyesight. Basically, that means I have to take my glasses off for 5 minutes, and I couldn't see, and it was very scary. But without further ado, let's get into this, and I'll show you guys how to take her on. I'm going to be taking on Melania. I'm going to show you guys my loadout for the weapons I'm using, the shield I'm using, the talismans I'm using, and then just any tips and tricks that I will try to divulge while I'm fighting her to you guys. But it should be an epic fight. She's bullied me enough, and we're going to take her down. So, stay tuned. Should be a lot of fun. Alright, so for my loadout, we are running the Rivers of Blood. It's at +9. I don't have it maxed out yet, unfortunately. Yes, I know. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. Everybody uses the Rivers of Blood because it's just weapon art spam, and it's not that big of a deal. But considering I'm fairly new to From Software games, this is the first one I've ever played. I am going to use this handicap, and then on New Game Plus, I'm going to come at her with a different set of weapons and a different playstyle. But we're just going to take the easy route for now. My other one is a Blood Dagger. It's got Bloodhound Step, so I can switch to that and evade her if I need to from a couple of her moves that she has. I have the Tombstone Fingerprint Shield for defense when she uses her Waterfowl Dance, which is that spinny move. You'll see it when we get in there. She uses it about 6 times. The Dragon Communion Seal helps with my incantations that I'm using. So I have Flame Grant Me Strength, Flame Cleanse Me, and Bestial Vitality. Flame Grant Me Strength gives me a damage buff with my weapon. The Flame Cleanse Me gets rid of Scarlet Rot that builds up from her attacks, and then the Bestial Vitality gives me health over time. It's very slow, but a little bit of health is better than none, especially if I'm put in a difficult position, so it's definitely going to help out. I am wearing the Silver Tier Mask to boost my Arcane. Right now it is, I think, 29 or 30 normally, and then this boosted a little bit, so that's going to give me a little bit more bleed damage, which is what we want. I am wearing the Black Knife set for my armor, because if I wear anything heavier for damage reduction, it's going to make me heavy load, which is going to make me not roll very far, and that is definitely what you don't want against her. You want to be as light as possible, but still have damage resistance to her as best as you can. So that's really going to help me out here. For the talismans, I have Radagon's Soar Seal. So this is the... it's not the best talisman, in my opinion. Honestly, I don't want to use it, but I don't have anything else that is as good or better. So I'm going to essentially be a glass cannon. So she's going to hit me and it's really going to hurt. But hopefully my damage outweighs hers. So this is basically just going to be a battle of who can last longer and a battle of strength. So... the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia. This is a really good talisman, especially with the Rivers of Blood. Basically, every consecutive hit I get on her, it's going to give me a damage buff that is not super significant, but it should be enough to do plenty of damage. Sadly, I want to wear the Great Shield Talisman, which helps with my defense. It keeps my stamina up higher, but I have to wear the Great Jar's Arsenal because if
Hello, motherfucker.
Hello, motherfucker! If I take off the Great Jar's Arsenal, then I'm going to be heavy load, which means I'm going to be rolling very slowly and very heavily, and I won't be able to move as much. So I have to wear this, unfortunately, because my... yes, this again. Because my stamina is not high enough. So my carry load, my equipment load, is not high enough. Hopefully we can do with this. But if I didn't have to use this, it would either be this one, the Green Turtle Talisman, which means that my stamina would go up higher, which means I can guard more, or sprint more, or I can use my attacks quicker, which I would love to do that. Or it would be the Great Shield Talisman, which is here, which boosts my guarding ability. So when she does her waterfowl dance, then I'll be able to guard against that. But sadly, I can't use it because my armor makes me too huge and bulky. I'm also using the Lord of Blood's Exaltation. This talisman gives me bloodlust and vicinity, increases attack power. Basically, what that means is if she has any bleed on her, then it will boost my damage. And then once I proc bleed, it goes down on her health bar a lot more than normal. So we have that. Of course, we have our healing Crimson Tears. We have 10 of those. We have 3 of the FP meter replenishes, which are the Cerulean Tears. That's going to really help with our Rivers of Blood sword art, which is Corpse Piler. You'll see that in a minute. This is pointless, so you don't need to worry about that. The Flask of Wondrous Physique, this is really going to help because the Rivers of Blood does bleed and it also does fire. Not very many people know that. It does fire damage. And what's great about Melania is she actually has no resistance to fire whatsoever. So her weakness is fire. Her second and third weaknesses are bleed and frost. Sadly, I only have a couple of frost weapons, and they are not maxed out at all. So I need to work on those. But for now, I'm going to be using Rivers of Blood, which does the fire damage, and the Flame Shroud and Crack Tier gives me a boost to my fire attacks. So every time I use my every time I use my Ash of War Corpse Piler, it's going to give me a boost to fire attacks, and it's also going to give me a boost towards my successive attack power. So every hit that I get on her, it's going to give me a buff from this, it's going to give me a buff from this, and then I also get a buff from Thorny Crack Tier. So I should, in theory, be able to kill her, not super fast, but I should be able to kill her without me struggling too much as I was the other day. My Mimic Tier is plus 10. That's who I'm going to be taking in with me. My Mimic Tier also has all this stuff on. So my Mimic Tier will be able to take all that damage. And of course we have the Godric's Great Rune. I don't know if I should use a different one. That's fine, we'll go with Godric's. So Godric's Great Rune, what that does is if I use a Rune Arc, which I will, so if I use this right here, it grants me the blessing of an equipped Great Rune upon use. So when I use it, it's going to increase my health, my stamina, my FP, which is my magic for the Corpse Piler, Ash of War, and then it's also going to increase all of my stats on the right-hand side. So my vigor, my mind, my endurance, my strength, my dexterity, my intelligence, my faith, and my arcane. So everything about this Great Rune is really going to help me in defeating her. So I think this build is not perfect, but it's a lot better of a build than we had the other day. So let's see if we can kill her. And hopefully it doesn't take us like 50 tries. So I'm going to save the Flask of Wondrous Physique for Phase 2. So when she goes into Phase 2, which you'll see, that's when I'm going to use it because that's when I'm going to need it the most. So, but let's go. What you got, woman? What you got, woman? She delayed it by half a second, and it was just enough for me to die. This is going to be a long night, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a long night. Phase 2. Phase 2 is significantly harder. She strips her armor for speed. So she has no poise, which is great, but she's faster. And she constantly deals Scarlet Rot. That flower really hurts. And her first attack, she does that. She slams to the ground and drops into her flower. And she also has a couple of other movesets that you haven't seen yet, and it's not fun. And I also can't see for the next 2.5 minutes. So basically for the rest of this fight, because I'm probably going to die.
You will witness true horror.
I already have witnessed true horror. It's you.
Now, rot.
Okay, here we go. Come on. I have the wrong thing. I don't have my shield out. Fuck. This is not good. I did not have my shield out. Get off me. Oh, I'm dead. shit. Oh, come on, bro. This is what makes her difficult, because every time she hits you, she gets health back. When I can't see, Panda, makes it very hard to read her attack patterns. I honestly should just veto the eyesight thing for this boss alone, but in the spirit of content, I'm gonna leave it be. But the timer was already up, so... I managed to last for 5 minutes against Melania. Man, this sucks. Come on. Okay. I need a vape break in between the cutscenes, so I can't skip these, because I need to, like, stay cool, calm, and collected while I fight her. Okay, I gotta switch to my stuff super fast. Alright, and as you can see, that's how you defeated Melania. It was such a hard fight, it was so much fun. As I revel in my celebration with my dog, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like more of this content and you want to see more, be sure to give me a like and subscribe, and leave a couple of comments down in the video to let me know how well I did with this one, and if there's any improvements I can make. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Dude! Oh my god! She only killed me once, bro! Let's fucking go! Oh! Let's get... Yes! That's how it's done!